I'm sorry, Neil. It just cut off.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess I reached my time limit. I don't know.
yeah. I think that's what it is. And
Oh, it was just
but that
getting
was
good.
that's actually, huh?
I said it was just you was just revving up. I'm like, okay, okay,
Actually, yeah.
okay.
Actually, I finished the last point that I made was right. It caught it right on time, so that was good.
Oh my gosh.
That
Okay.
was perfect.
But I would agree. I think that overall, as a community, well, let me not speak for the community. Let me speak for myself. I would say, as a woman that has had relationships, friendships with men, um, I found so much power in pouring in like positivity, encouragement,
Hmm.
inspiration, like supporting a person's efforts or dreams, gratitude about what they can do, what they can provide, and not putting so much pressure through certain words, right? Like, for instance, using the verbiage of like, you never blah blah blah, or
Hmm.
you always, and it be something negative, right? Or
Hmm.
comparing, a man to something else or someone else, or even bringing up maybe the fact that they had a dream, but the dream has been deferred for whatever reason within their own journey or their life, right?
Hmm.
And not all things personally to me, but I've seen it play out. I've seen it in family and friends. I've seen it, in my own relationships, and you get so much more cooperation and personal safety and intimacy with a person when your language overall is uplifting, when it
Hmm.
is rooted in love and it is rooted in encouragement, and you're trying to inspire somebody to keep doing what you're doing, even if you don't feel like it's great. I see the progress. Keep doing what you're doing.
Right.
um, and that just, I think as a whole, our community could do a much better job of that, and making sure that we uplift our brothers, like in any person. It doesn't have to be our personal relative or the person we're in relationship with. If you see somebody trying, working hard, doing the best they can, like, please encourage them. And if you see someone trying to change their life, acknowledging, like, I see you, I see the sacrifices you make in life, and I'm very proud of you. I think even that, saying that you are proud of the things that you see a man doing, goes a long way for their mental health.
Hmm. Hmm. Absolutely. And just, to add to that, I do believe some men, they don't necessarily know what steps to take or the process of, you know, reaching out to a therapist, or they don't know, what steps on a day-to-day basis or practices on a day-to-day basis they could possibly take. Understanding what mindfulness is key. Understanding, the importance of prayer, understanding the importance of, the things that are going to allow you to find the comfort in the moment of what you are going through. There are several steps that you could take, several things that I've, continued to practice on a day-to-day basis that's allowed me to make certain that I am prioritizing my mental health, right? Prioritizing my well-being, which is so important. And what we have to understand is that with life happening around us, and this is so important. What I'm about to say is that there are so many stressors in the world, right? And what we don't realize is that whether the stressors are in your relationship, in your job, in your workplace, uh, just in politics, just all around, there are a lot of stressors in the world. And those stressors don't have to be your own, but we take it on, right? And what happens when those stressors begin to take on a life of its own in your life, in your own space, it turns into anxiety within you, because what you're finding is that you're trying to figure out this thing and you're trying to, overcome this thing on your own, whereas the stressors are going to continue to present itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then anxiety shows up in your heart and it begins to weigh on you and it begins to cause you to lose the ability mentally to be able to focus on what's most essential for your overall well-being.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we have to every day have responsive wellness practices, right? Responsive wellness practices day to day that will keep us in a space where we're continuing to keep our own mental health, emotional health, physical health, spiritual health as a priority in our,
Mm-hmm.
because as a practitioner myself, I focus in on the holistic aspect of my well-being so that I make sure everything, each part of me is getting is attention that it needs so that I can continue to make certain that I am growing and developing in these areas and gaining the strength that I need, the understanding that I need, the knowledge that I need, so that things that's happening around me, the stressors in life,
Mm-hmm.
it won't weigh on me because I've learned to combat it. I've learned to come against it by putting practices, responsive practices in place that
Mm-hmm.
will help me to rise above it. It'll help me to maintain my health, my safety, my
Mm-hmm.
security, and nothing, no matter what this world tries to throw at me, will take me out of my own body
Mm-hmm.
and make me or cause me to lose sight of my mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, and my physical well-being. So
Yeah.
that's key.
So, okay. So for a beginner, I don't know what's going on. Nobody in my house ever expressed emotion. I got stuff bottled up. I'm a ticking time bomb. Give me three practical exercises that me as a beginner trying not to explode can do every day to start to release some of that anxiety, that anger, that frustration, that sense of overwhelm or just lostness overall. Like what are three things you would suggest to me as someone who has never been introduced to ways to prioritize their mental health? What could I do?
I'm gonna give you four:
Okay.
prayer, meditation, exercise, and sleep.
Okay. Prayer, meditation,
Prayer, meditation,
exercise.
exercise, and sleep.
Okay. So how much exercise should I get?
I mean, exercise on a day-to-day basis, I would say if you can incorporate at least 30 to 45 minutes a
Mm-hmm.
day starting out
Mm-hmm.
just to get yourself going, whether that's cardiovascular, and I always encourage cardiovascular training is most essential when you ask me. It's dealing with the heart health, right? It's dealing with making sure that you're building your stamina and your endurance. So if you can get to exercising, and if you can't do anything else, if weightlifting is not your thing right now,
Mm-hmm.
at least incorporating some cardiovascular training in your day-to-day schedule will definitely be essential because it helps overall with you to be able to begin releasing some of the anxiety and the stress that you have building up, right?
Okay.
And from that, just the practice of also, and I like to also tie this into exercising too. The practice of making sure you incorporate a healthier diet too is going to be essential to help balance that.
Mm-hmm.
That's an added one that I didn't mention. But
That's
I just
five.
think anytime you talk exercise, you also should talk healthy eating.
Mm-hmm.
So I think because what people don't understand is that foods cause inflammation in the body. And if you're not mindful of the foods that you're eating, and it's causing inflammation in the body, that too would bring about some stress and can bring about, health concerns
Mm-hmm.
and worry
Mm-hmm.
because you're not taking care of yourself.
Yes.
And if you're not taking care of yourself, everything else, all of the stressors that are around you will seem heavier
Mm-hmm.
because you can't even balance your own, or you're not even prioritizing your own health. So now other factors that's not even your problem
Mm-hmm.
are beginning to become your problem because you're giving it more focus than you need to, when you need to be prioritizing your own health.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
those would be definitely key. And then just to talk about prayer. Prayer, we hear a lot about prayer and people not knowing how to pray and knowing what to say, and you hear a lot. For me, I was one that carried anxiety about praying. It
Mm.
used to be me. And
Okay.
I'm like, okay, you have anxiety about praying. When you're praying, it's like it's all about a intimacy you are
Mm-hmm.
creating between you and God, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you go to God in prayer and you're talking to God and you're asking questions, and it's just like a conversation. That's how I am when I'm praying sometimes, and it's just a moment for me and God, and for me to to seek His face,
Mm-hmm.
right? Uh, there shouldn't be any anxiety in that, right? There shouldn't be any worry with going to God and expressing yourself to Him, right? And
Yeah.
so I think if we remove the thought of not doing it right or not sounding right, and just go into it with an open mind and open heart, and just present ourselves to Him with thanksgiving, and allow ourselves to gain peace in knowing that I am with God and He is for me, not against me.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And whereas in this world, you will have trouble. God says, "Take heart, I have overcome the world." So if you're going to your Father who says, "Take heart, I have overcome the world," then you don't have no worries when you go and talk to Him.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go and talk to Him about the problems in the world, He's going to be there to let you know that this world, it can't give you the peace that I can give you.
Mm-hmm.
And so what you realize is that you leave that space with a renewed sense of focus on the things that matter. That's going to allow you to begin prioritizing your health.
Mm-hmm.
Begin to focus on the things that really matter, and not allowing these stressors to cause anxiety in your heart. Because when anxiety is in your heart, as I mentioned earlier, it's going to weigh you down, and it's going to cause you to become spiritually dead.
Mm-hmm.
But God is going to give you life, right? He came so that you may have life and have it to the full. So when you're seeking His face, He's going to give you life. He's going to make certain that He fill your cup with what you need. And so when you make that a practice in your life,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you are intentional about what you're going into this for, and you listen and allow God to speak to you, you will find peace. You will find what you need in that moment, right? To overcome the anxiety, to overcome the stressors in life,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then what you take from that, whatever God speaks into your heart and your mind, you take that and you apply that in meditation.
Yes.
Apply that as you meditate. Meditate on the word that God has spoken over you.
Mm-hmm.
Continue to repeat it. Write it down. Put it on your refrigerator. Put it in your car. Take it with you wherever you go. Don't lose sight of it. Because what did I say earlier? God said, pay attention. Do not lose sight of my word. Keep it at the center of your heart. It will be life to those who find it, and healing and health to their entire flesh. That's the truth.
Yes.
And as we spoke about the prayer, the meditation, the exercise, proper sleep is going to also help with that. Instead of up and worrying and stressing about the things that are out of your control,
Mm-hmm.
you've now went to God and said, God, I give this to you. Now give me rest.
Yes. Yes. You got to release it. Give it to him and leave it there.
And leave it there.
That's what I don't know about anybody else, but I feel like I get instant peace when
Mm-hmm.
I do that, and I'm genuine about not gonna worry about it anymore. Like
Right.
that's yours, and I
Yep.
know you're gonna work it out.
Absolutely.
So thank you for that. Even though you tried to do a little jab at me about lifting weights, maybe that wasn't for me. Okay, maybe that
No,
wasn't
that
for
was
me.
for you. That wasn't for you.
But yes, I do agree. Prayer, meditation. If you don't know what to say, and you don't have access to certain things, I mean, there's free guided meditation. You can there's devotionals, free apps, all kinds of things that can put you in the right mindset. Definitely diet. And I just want to add something on to that, Neil. Diet is not just what you eat, it's what you consume as well. And so
Yes.
if you are consuming things that are kind of intoxicating towards the things that you know are triggers for you,
Mm-hmm.
then you have to be mindful of consuming that as well as part of your diet. If you know you need to unfollow a couple of people on social media, you know you need to stop watching, murder mysteries or how to get away, and you know you on the edge, and you keep that thing on your hip. Watch what you're consuming, right?
Yep.
Because that's feeding your mind, it's feeding
Mm-hmm.
your spirit certain things, and it makes it harder for you to hear from God. It really does, because those kind of things will consume you to the point that you can't hear his voice when he's trying to steer you the other direction.
Yep. Yep.
So I
I
just wanted
agree.
to lean in on that point.
And also, just to add to this, and just think about my own day-to-day practice, I worship all the time, right? I worship. I put on some good gospel music, some good meditation music, something that will speak words of encouragement into me as I'm singing. Like that stuff matters. That stuff matters on a day-to-day basis. If you're continuing to consume that, it will give you, some comfort, some peace, some encouragement. It empowers you. It kind of keeps you going, gives you the strength that you need to continue on this path of victory. Like you have to feed yourself with the thing that's going to liberate you. You can't continue to go to God and ask for deliverance or
Mm-hmm.
help, but turn right back to the thing that is keeping you in a place of bondage.
Yes.
That don't work.
Mm-mm.
You have to at some point get to a place where you are fully surrendered. Fully surrendered. That means that some people, things, places, all of that gonna have to go. They're gonna have to go in order for you to be able to see the transformation take shape in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
So that is so important, so important. So I just do believe that those practices, you have to be intentional about them. You have to.
Okay. Thank you for that advice, because I know there's somebody out here that will be watching it, and it's just like I don't know where to start. I'm drowning, and I need some guidance.
Yes.
Um,
And I would say this too: if anybody's watching and they want to reach out to me personally, they can reach out, and I'm more than happy to give them some more advice on how to approach this.
okay. Thank you, Neil. Thank you. So, any final words of wisdom around mental health, for men? As we know all the things that are happening in this world, um, politically, economically, socially. We know the state of the community. We know the state of the Black family. We know that there's an agenda to divide us, right? So all those things, I feel like it weighs on both genders, but I feel like there is a specific like soft spot I have for men in this place because we need each other. We need our men to be strong. We need our men to be healthy. We need our men to be focused, disciplined. We need them emotionally intelligent so that they can be leaders and be examples for our children and the younger generation. And so, just in facing all of those things, right? What would be your piece of advice for men around um, improving their overall wellness and mental health as we go into the last half of this year?
Mm. My advice would be to get in the race.
Mm,
Get in the race. And when I say get in the race and let's run, train, and build the life that God would want us to build as a unit
mm-hmm,
so that we can gain the wisdom, the knowledge, the strength, and the power that He gives. So as a collective, we can get in this race, we can run it well, and we can continue on and being able to build each other up so that when whatever is going to come, we would at least be established in a way where nothing is going to stop the power that God has given us as a result of submitting our way to Christ, right? And truly getting in the race. Getting in that race because this is the thing and what I've learned, and I'm speaking from an experience and from a place of truth that if you are dealing with anxiety or stress and worry and fear and so much is going through your mind,
mm-hmm,
if you are looking to the world for answers to that, then
mm-hmm,
you're looking in the wrong place. You got to look to God, right? And that's why I say get in the race. And when you carry that mantra of get in the race in your heart and in your mind, what that says to you is that you're getting in the race with a purpose. You're
mm-hmm,
getting in the race because you are going to win this war. You are victorious. And you're getting in the race because there's a finish line that God has already put out there for us. And if
mm-hmm,
we're going to reach that finish line, we got to today get in the race and start running it with endurance. And we got
mm-hmm,
to focus on the champion of all of this, focus on Christ. Because that's what's going to allow us to develop and to overcome everything that we're going through. So He's going to help us to overcome the trouble that's in this world. He's going to help us to escape the corruption that is in this world. And we're going to be able to heal together as we move forward in faith, right? And so as we move forward in faith and persevere in it and stay the course, stay this course, stay in the race, we're going to find that as men, as black men, as men in general, we're going to be able to see ourselves rise to our kingly dignity. And
mm-hmm.
know that's the truth. I've seen
Yes.
it, I've witnessed it in my own life. And today I'm steadily rising because I've gotten in the race and I'm not getting out of the race. And I'm staying the course and I'm going to continue to put forth all that God has given me. So, yeah, that's my advice.
Okay. Okay. So I know we've taken a lot of your evening, right? But it would not be right if we didn't offer the opportunity for you to tell people how to connect with you and then where to find your book.
Right,
So where can one purchase this?
right. The easiest way to connect with me on socials is I don't do all the other socials, but I am on Facebook and Instagram. So
Mm-hmm.
at O'Neal Scott on Instagram, and you can also connect with me on Facebook at that same name. But as far as my book is concerned, it is on Amazon. You can purchase it on Amazon. Just type in The Rosebud by Neil Scott. It will pop up there for you. Please support. It will bless you. It's my life's journey, and it's still a blessing to me to this day. As I am now in this journey where God is doing some other things that will now require that I look at putting the part 2 out and kind of adding on to what's already been been put out there. And so, yes, yes, God is doing amazing things. So please stay connected as I'm on this journey to continue to encourage and empower a life of well-being for God's people. And I do believe follow, you will be blessed.
Well, thank you, Neil. Thank you. I'm beyond proud of you.
Thank you.
Please give us part two. I think you owe us that. And I'm partially talking to myself too about my own part two. But we're talking about you today. So definitely, whenever you're ready to release part two, we will support it. And I want to thank you for sharing so much about yourself, your journey, your faith, and how it keeps you centered and rooted in a healthy place. Like overall well-being is top priority for you, and you are seeing the fruits of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just know that this live, and I know this is part two live that I have to post, but this is going to bless so many people. And I just want to thank you for taking some time out or making the time to speak, to share, to be transparent, and to give us some practical tips that we can walk away with that will help us to achieve our overall well-being. And hopefully guiding some man through their own fears about mental health and just starting somewhere, right? Start somewhere, get rooted back in your spirituality, whatever that is, whatever you believe in, and build from there. But regardless, let's spread more love. Let's make sure that we are encouraging one another, and let's be mindful of what we're doing to take care of ourselves in the meantime. So that's all I have. Thank y'all so much for joining. Thank you, Neil, so much for your time. And we'll see you on the next series.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for having me.
All
Uh,
right. Bye.
bye.